I'm Jeannie, and I'm here today from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I am holding something really cute. I'm going to show you in just a second. I want to teach you how to do the mitered corners on the binding of a quilt. I have to say that I struggled. I decided this was going to be the hardest thing I ever did in my entire life, and so I've avoided it like the plague, and I have 2 other quilts ready to be bound, and it is so easy peasy. I can't tell you how easy peasy it is. Why do we do that to ourselves? So let me show you the project that prompted me to really push forward and learn this, and I hope you will join me in learning this. This is a little quilt using the Sandy Gervais Flirt panels, which we have here in the shop in our fabric department, and some of her yardage, and I'm just having the most fun doing this. I've been quilting around the birdies. I did do it a little backwards. I've learned a lot. We don't need to go into all the details, but I am using invisible thread, which has become my best friend. And all I did was do 3-inch strips and just do kind of a courthouse steps block kind of quilt. Just sewed it until I thought it was the right size for a baby. It's for a baby here at the shop that I can't tell you because she might see the video. Bethany is getting this quilt, Bethany's little girl, and I chose the pretty little back, love my back, with the little flirt collection, and then I did choose a nice contrast for the binding. So what I really want you to see is this lovely mitered corner that I am so proud of, that I decided was so hard. Not hard, easy peasy. I did make a wider binding. Ooh, let me choose a different corner that has more contrast. There you can see the back, and then you can see my front. So this is a 1/4 inch binding, and then on the back is a little bit wider just because I wanted that contrast. But you can do whatever your pattern calls for, whatever works for you. You will ultimately hand sew this down using blind stitch and sew these nice little mitered corners. So what I'm going to do is hopefully teach you how to do these corners. Today I will show you where I learned. I have this wonderful book, A to Z Sewing. It is the ultimate guide for beginning to advanced sewing, and I'm definitely in the beginning stages. And I just said, okay, I'm going to do this. I did do a few practice corners before I actually tackled my quilt. And right here on page 39 and 40 is how to make your binding, how to bind the quilt, how to join the ends. Whoops, let me show you. Mitered corners are in here. How to miter the corner. It just took me step by step all the way through the blind stitch. So A to Z Sewing, great book. I use it all the time. So let's go ahead and do a little mini quilt. And one of the best tools is my little 1/4 inch ruler, my little adjustable ruler. Gus gave me this tip and helped me out here. Wonderful little tool. So what I've done is make a little tiny quilt for you, and hopefully this demonstration will go relatively quickly. I have pre-sewed all the way up to my next mitered corner. I'm going to get right in here. I take my little adjustable ruler, and I have it set to 1/4 inch. And I measure, I want to stop sewing at that 1/4 inch right here. And then right after you get to that 1/4 inch, right when you get to that point, you want to turn and do a 90-degree angle off to the corner. And that is where you do that for each corner. So at that point, you are ready to fold your corner up like this, which is going to make your miter. Okay, so you just fold that like that, and then you fold it straight down. You want to make sure there's no real bulk or anything crazy right here. Straight down. So now you've made your mitered corner. You can of course pin it, which is always, oops, didn't have my pins open. What a dingling. I should have a pin cushion here. Okay, and you can pin it and get it ready so that it doesn't shift when you start sewing. This is such a small piece that I'm not going to pin all the way down because I tend to be one of those lazy slackers, but don't do that. Pin your binding. It really does make a difference. So you would want to pin all the way down, just out of reach of your needle. So we're going to slip this into our machine, right in here. And you want to start right at the edge here. And I'm actually borrowing someone's machine, so hopefully this will work well. And you just, oh, look at that, it just pulls it right through. You want to go right from the edge, do your 1/4 inch seam. I kind of, since I'm being lazy and not having it pinned in place, I am going to shift it and check it as I go. You want it completely lined up with the edge of your squared up quilt. Just sew along, zip, zip, zip. Get down here and I'm going to show you how to do that one little corner. Okay, now I'm getting close to my 1/4 inch area. So I take my little ruler, and you can just eyeball this. Take my little ruler. Boy, this is a nice machine. Thank you, Terry. And stop right there. You can put your needle down, raise your presser foot, and angle your piece at a 90-degree angle. Put your presser foot down and just sew off and snip your threads. And you're going to start again. So I will show you one more time at this corner. Then you fold your corner carefully. You want this to be at, what is that, a 45-degree angle? At a 45-degree angle with this, straight on, and then fold this straight down, measuring it with this edge, getting it nice and square. Take your pin, place your pin to hold it securely, and again, one more time, we're going to sew right from the edge at our 1/4 inch seam. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I'm going to show you how to turn these corners. Last night, getting ready for the demonstration, I made my cute little pink flamingo quilt, and I did pre-iron these corners. So your iron is your friend. So now we have these raw mitered corners. You will take your iron and just press this out. Press these out nice and flat. You see how that just automatically wants to miter right there in that corner? Same over here. Press, press, press. Then, here's my pre-pressed ones that are all ready to go. You can see how nicely, once I did my iron, how nicely that mitered. Turn your piece over, and you're going to do exactly the same thing on your miter corner here, on your opposite side, the reverse side of your quilt. And you can see this is a nice wide binding. You want to do the binding strip based on your pattern. Oh, you know what I didn't tell you? Your binding is always right side out. You will press it in half, and that's how you lay it down on your piece. Just a quick little tip. I will do how to make your binding, your bias binding, and we'll play with that. So you have both right sides like this out. You lay that even flush with the edge of your binding, and you're going to sew on the inside, and that folds right over. There's your mitered corner. We go back to our back here now with that little detour and instruction. I hope you can follow me. We're going to iron that flush. Then you just want to take and iron it again, nice and flat. Before you start to hand sew this with blind stitch, and I promise I will figure out a way to do a nice video for you with blind stitch, you will want to pin that mitered corner in place so that it really meets where it needs to be. Now see, if we had ironed all of this over here, we can just keep going, miter those corners. You see how nice this little corner is where I did pre-press it before the demonstration. Over here it could use a little bit of pressing. Whoops, I'll move over here so you can see. Could use a little bit of pressing. You can see I'm at a funky angle. So this is where you, with your little iron, where you adjust all those little bits. You want it to fold over firmly against the edge of this quilt so your quilt will wear well. It will be nice and firm. But that's basically it. Then you're going to come along and hand sew all of this down. I like to sew this corner that turned this other quilt into just a very nice finished piece. So blind stitch is next on our list to learn, and that's how you miter a corner for a quilt. So Trish, you asked me to do this one specifically for you. What do you think? Thank you for letting me know what you want me to teach you, and for pushing me forward in my learning abilities too, my sewing abilities. So again, I'm Jeanne. This is how to miter the corner of a quilt. Happy sewing, happy quilting. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night.